Hey everyone, it's Morgan and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a continuation of last video, which was a new art tour of all the art in my studio. So if you haven't checked out the last one, I really recommend you do so before moving on to this one. Today I have 13 larger paintings and drawings to show you guys. I'd say about like 90% of them are from the college semester that just passed, but 2.5 almost of them are also from like late high school, but they're down here and I think that they could fit right into this video, so I'm definitely going to give them a chance. Alright, and our first feature is this acrylic painting of 3 candles. This painting was done for my painting elective. This was the fall semester of my past college year. This one, I do like this one a lot, but there's a couple things that I would fix about it. This was definitely a quicker painting. This was a homework assignment. So if this was a big project, I would definitely go back in and play with these shadows a little more. They were supposed to be harsher and like have a weird texture, but I think we could bring that out a little bit better. Okay, so the next 3 that I have are all going to be acrylic paintings. The first 2 are on just regular white canvas, as was the candle painting that we just saw. These 3 were in a succession. They were all for a project. So it was supposed to show, I don't know, I think some kind of like change or something like that, some kind of 3 painting series where they all had something to do with each other. So this one right here that we're looking at is a picture of a sunrise over some mountaintops with like fog. And then the next 2 all have to do with the sky during the time of day. So next we have like daytime and then a sunset. And as promised, next is the daytime painting. This one, like I said, is also just white canvas with acrylic paint. This one was a ton of fun to do, actually. It was only 3 colors, so we just had the light blue. Although actually I think it was just a regular blue that had white in it. So we had blue, white, and a tiny bit of black for the gray shadows in the clouds. It was actually a quicker one and like a ton of fun. Close up you can see the cool texture, but then far away it kind of blends into almost looking realistic. Alrighty, and then finally in this little 3 painting series we have the sunset one. This one is going to be one of the coolest ones to talk about. This is a burlap canvas actually. It's not white, it's actually like that tan color. And it's like insanely textured. So this was my first experience using a burlap canvas like this, and I just was totally learning as I was going. This canvas like eats up paint. It's way harder to blend things together and like get rid of that burlap texture or like fill it in almost, because it seriously just absorbs paint like a sponge. It is like here to eat your paint, but it was very fun. Real quick, here is a nice familiar face. I figured I'd include this one just because it was laying on the wall with the rest of them. This was from the Finger Painting Challenge video. This went up about a year and some months ago. It was done featuring my sister and her boyfriend, and it was just loads of fun. We all made the same paintings, so we were following the same reference, and we were only using our fingers and trying to see who could recreate the best little scene. So then this one, I actually just flicked a spider off of, but this was a painting that I did with my cousin. She had her own, we had 2 separate paintings. It was like a Zoom call, follow me paint kind of thing. There's definitely a better word for that. Like a paint by step with someone where you're kind of following along to what they're doing. And oh my goodness, was this an experience. There was a lot of like fun little tricks that we were supposed to use within this painting. And honestly, it was more for the experience with my cousin than the final result to me. But this was a ton of fun. It was a little difficult because the 2 of us really didn't know like what we were working towards. We didn't have the reference picture ourselves. And then sometimes the steps were a little bit sped up, and it was just very funny for us. It was chaotic fun. Alright, so this is one of the first things that I made from high school. This was for my senior year, I believe. Clearly this is something that was supposed to have been finished by now, but as we can see, it is still under works. This is a large piece of wood that I had ever so kindly cut for me in the shape of the symbol, the Libra zodiac sign, that of which I am. Happy Libra, yay. And it was just supposed to be a koi fish on top of this little environment underwater with a little plant, and then this was supposed to be kanji that was supposedly gonna be my last name. Who even knows if that's what it says? But I will finish this before I die, I'll say that at least. I still love this painting as much as I did when I started it, and I just see a world of opportunity when I look at it, but it's definitely gonna be a time-consuming one, and it just didn't happen yet, but someday you will. Alright, and finally my favorites. It was another 3 painting series for the painting elective class. I can't even tell you what the project guidelines were for this one. I think it was very similar to the other one, how it was very vague and like loosely interpreted. It was kind of just like a pick 3 things that all have to do with each other that you can kind of create an argument about, that you can have fun with and get creative with. So I chose 3 different scenes from the 1951 animated version of Alice in Wonderland. It's the Disney movie. Growing up, this was my absolute favorite movie. My older sister as well. We just bonded a lot over this movie, and I wanted to bring it to life a little bit. So one of the things that I wanted to say before I got into each painting was, oh my god, these paintings are huge. This video was not doing it justice, not even my hand in it would do it justice, but seriously, I've never spent so long on paintings in my life. And I did them all within the same 2-3 weeks. It was absolute insanity for me, but I love the result, and I'm so glad to have said that I did it. The only thing that is not paint about these paintings would just be the outlines. So the outlines around Alice, that was, I believe, just one of those brush-tipped Pigra-Microns. This is a ginormous white canvas. These next 2 paintings are actually from the same, little musical number. It was from the same kind of overall scene in the movie. This one I'd say that I changed the most. For all of these, I tried to keep the details in the front very similar colors, whatever. But then the background, I would try to change as much as possible to try and make it my own. But for me, honestly, it was more just about recreating the nostalgia that I feel. I just wanted to channel that feeling for myself, which is a little selfish to say, but I'm in love with these paintings, so I'm gonna leave it. This one is even bigger than the other 2. I do not remember the specific measurements by now, but I would say godly to formidable. That was the sizes. Alright, and then finishing up our little Alice in Wonderland tribute, we have the final painting. This one would be the same size as the first one that I showed you with Alice in it. This is, like I said, from the same song that the previous one was from. I believe it is the Golden Afternoon number. Lovely song. I had a lot of fun with the texture in the background of this one. I didn't originally plan for that wispy texture, but the green paint that I was using was by far the thinnest and most transparent paint that I had, and I decided that I didn't have enough time to do a bunch of coats and that I was just going to go with it. So I made a pretty happy mistake. I actually have 14 things today. This one I forgot about. It was hiding under our last one. This was from the drawing class of the fall semester, I believe. So my first one. It is completely random and very difficult to describe. It was supposed to be a, whatever you would call this, where you have 2 different pieces of paper that you would attach at one edge. But it was supposed to be a very funny shaped recreation of a photo that you take of your environment. I am in my basement, as you may have been able to tell, and my basement is full of things. We moved into this house about 13 years ago, I'd like to say, and we still have a lot of things from our old house. A lot of boxes, a lot of random holiday things laying around. And this was a Halloween kitty that was kind of sticking up in the background. It was like a scarecrow type. It was one of those that you can put into the ground. So yes. I also forgot to mention that this old boy was done with India ink. So it was just black concentrated ink with water added to it. I actually almost forgot because they were hiding in a corner, but I do have the other 2 pieces from high school that I wanted to show. This was from, I think, my Studio 3 class as a junior in high school. This is dryer lint. Gross, I know. This is all from the washing machine, so... and my project was to collect that for weeks at a time and apply it into some sort of piece. And I was very intimidated by this piece. It was extremely weird to do, but by the end of it, my teacher nabbed this one for me and put it up in the front of the school. So I think good. I think we did good here, folks. But so I have 5 cats at home, so what we're looking at is mostly colored cat hair, which is just really disturbing. Don't judge it too much. I know there's some like fuzz and dust and debris on it because this is one of the oldest ones down here. But this is, I believe, a black like drawing board and then colored pencil on top of it. These are Prismacolor pencils. These silver balloons, I think, were only 4 different pencils. We have, oh, five. So it's white, black, silver, and a gray. Maybe 2 grays? Or no, maybe it's 4. And then this like golden balloon down here of the dog was only a few more because the golden pieces were only 4. The white, the dark brown, the weird green color, and the golden color. And then there's also some silver aspects embellished within, So finally, moving on to my very last piece for today. This was from a forum class, first semester, so fall semester, I think. It originally just started as this middle piece. This is a whale shark in the middle here, and these are all done with ink, so like Picker Microns liners, and watercolor in the background. The watercolor in the back was actually like way more difficult than it looked, so I was blowing it around with my breath, and I realized that doing that makes me lightheaded like really easily. But yeah, so it started off as the piece in the middle. It was like loosely around the topic of community.